When I saw that we were going to be going to Costa Rica and we were going to be going to schools, etc., my first thought, I don't have time for this. I have 300,000 things to do. And I was wrong.
While Costa Rica is normally known as a destination for ecotourism, visiting rainforests and beautiful beaches, as a group of American educators from California, we were interested in going to Costa Rica to see what we can learn from their education system that we can bring back home and apply in our own educational settings. To see what we could learn from a nation that spends a large portion of its national budget on education, given that they have no military.
Compared to the United States, Costa Rica has no defense budget. Our budget, one of our priorities is our educational system. So Costa Rica right now has one of the highest quality educational systems because we have prioritized our education as one asset that can make a difference in the quality of living of our citizens.
I did an exchange program last year, and I noticed that we have two very different educational systems, because I feel that on the United States program you don't learn as much as from all around the world, like all the other countries, the history from all the other countries, and we learn a lot about the history of other countries and what is happening right now in other countries. And in the United States, I feel that they just learn about the United States.
I think there's a huge problem in our community that affects the entire country, actually. And it has to do with the water that we use, and pretty much daily, right? We know that our community uses water that comes from a specific place, right? And it's always been there, and we've always used the same water. But now we have a lot of people not just wasting the water, but the very own tank where we store our water has been leaking. What do you think we can do about it?
If we can make a difference with a forum or a conference, we as a community, and we're teenagers only, I think it can make a difference to politicians and local authorities, that they can see, like, if we can do it, they can do it.
Social projects that we have here in the school, they're really important. You start being a part of those projects when you're in 7th grade, and you carry on with them until you graduate, right? So they're always a part of your life and your academic life. Whether you're working with kids or elderly, you're always working with people who really change you, and they have an impact on your life as well.
The kids enrolled in the leadership program, they work in Talamanca, where there's a big indigenous community, Costa Rican indigenous community there.
What do they do?
And they do the same project that the rest of the kids develop with the nearby community, but there.
One thing that really stood out was that the students would go to a population that was a very minority population in Costa Rica, and provide service to them. And I thought that really was very powerful for the students. And how can we bring that back to the U.S., where the students here can connect with similar populations that are in need, that may need some help, rather than some of the more traditional community service outlets.
Though the private schools we visited in Costa Rica had plenty of resources, the public schools had many challenges.
Most of our students, they are from people from different families, which the normal average income is $600. You know that? You know about it? The average salary in Costa Rica is around $600.
The average?
Yeah, exactly. And for that reason, the public school, we support them with food, some kind of books or photocopies or materials. This is the reality.
What's the difference between the public and the private schools?
Well, if you come from a family where your parents can good study, they have specific skills, reading, they have books, internet connection, probably they have the habits to be a hard worker and be focused in study. But if you come from a poor family, you don't have these kind of things, or you don't have expectation about your life, about the possibility to see the future. That is soft skills, but it's very important to be successful in education.